Content creators are broke. You don't want to be one. And that's coming from a guy that makes a lot of content, where that content has made me over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. But I'm not a content creator, and that might not make any sense to you, but it will if you just watch the video. Everybody wants to be a content creator. Everybody wants to create content. Everybody wants to make all this money in this creator economy, and they want to get a lot of views and they want to go viral, and they think that that's the way for them to get rich when it's not. And this is only going to take me about 5 minutes to break down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll just be making a lot of content and going and trying to get a lot of views, and you'll just be a very popular broke person. And that probably sucks to be a popular broke person. But look, the reason why I say that you don't want to be a content creator because content creators are broke is because majority of content creators, they're basically just entertaining people, and you don't want to be an entertainer. So what I mean by this is that people, they have all this stuff backwards. They think that getting views or getting eyeballs equates to getting money. So they try to create some content to get as many views as possible, and then they cross their fingers and hope that they can get like maybe a brand partnership or a sponsorship or some type of deal, or maybe even they'll make some money just off the views through AdSense or something like that. But they have it completely backwards. So yes, there is a lot of opportunity to make money off of accumulating attention, off of accumulating some views, right? But the money isn't made off of just people watching you. The money is made off of selling something to those people that are watching you. So even just think about this, just from an entertainment standpoint or from the content creator standpoint, right? They make entertaining content and they do a whole bunch of goofy looking stuff that they probably don't even want to do, just because they're making stuff that they think that other people want to see, so they can get enough views so they can get somebody else to pay them to get in front of those views. That's where the money is made. So a lot of these content creators that are just running around out here entertaining folks for just the sake of entertainment, they're missing out on the real money-making opportunity. Because if somebody else, let it be a sponsor, let it be some brand deal or something like that, or even on YouTube with AdSense, somebody else is willing to pay to put ads on top of your content, that's where the money is at. So they don't realize that they are the actual asset, and they're just running around here doing all kinds of dances and whatnot, trying to go viral to get the most views, to monetize it just a little bit. So even on YouTube, this platform that you're consuming right now, people that make YouTube content, they have this goal and this dream of being monetized so they can get all these AdSense dollars through the YouTube monetization and the YouTube partner program, right? Do you understand how many views you would have to get in order to make any considerable amount of money on YouTube? So a lot of people that are just out here making entertaining content, they have such low CPMs. If you don't know what CPM stands for, it stands for cost per mil, or mil is just basically a fancy word for 1,000. So the way that YouTube charges advertisers is by the cost per mil. And then YouTube basically splits that, usually around the 50-50 split. YouTube will split that with the creator of that content, and that's called your RPM. So most entertainment channels, they have such low RPMs, like just a few bucks per 1,000 views. Like a high CPM for an entertainment channel would be like $6 or $7 or something like that. Whereas just off of monetizing the views, I have a CPM that's around like 40 bucks or something like that, but that's just because of the type of content that I make. I make informational, educational, business type content, right? So an advertiser would pay more money to get on my videos because it will be a better quality of eyeball that they're paying to get in front of versus paying to get in front of somebody that's having a pop the balloon challenge or something like that, right? But in that case, do you know how many views you would have to get at a $7 CPM in order to make a considerable amount of money on YouTube? You would have to try to go viral over and over and over and over and over again. And guess what? that is exhausting. And that's why you do have those people that happen to get lucky and do have something that goes viral, but then they start to feel bad about themselves because they can't replicate it. They don't know why that went viral. They just happen to get lucky. And then on the other side of that, you have people that have sponsored content, right? You have somebody that may give you they call it a brand deal or partnership or whatnot, but really these people, they're just paying you to get in front of your audience. Well, the downside with that is that then people, they start to have these deadlines and they start to become actual employees for the people that are paying them for the sponsorship, because they have to make stuff that they want them to make, not the stuff that they actually want to make. So a lot of your favorite creators are making content that they don't want to make because they have to make it because the people that are paying them are telling them what to make. And then they have to send the stuff to their sponsor before they can publish it so they can okay it. So they're basically just an employee of somebody else because they don't realize the value that they actually hold. And then also you become a slave to getting a bunch of views, because if your channel gets less views, then people will stop reaching out to you to pay you because you're not getting that many views, right? So what you want to be is a contentpreneur, not a content creator, but a contentpreneur, somebody that uses content to drive traffic to their business. You want to be an entrepreneur first that realizes and understands the power of something like a YouTube channel that you have right now, the power of all these free impressions. And if you're not familiar with what an impression is basically just an eyeball. So one of the reasons why I quit advertising also is because I saw the power of YouTube, even with having a small YouTube channel. So myself in a former entrepreneurial life, say when I used to run something like Facebook ads, right? I was paying around $25 per 1,000 impressions. And remember, an impression is just an eyeball, not a view or anything like that, but just if something gets seen. So all these ads that you see every single day where you click and skip, or if you're scrolling on social media and you just scroll past something, if your eyeball saw it, that counts as an impression. So all those videos that are up on your YouTube home screen, for example, that you see but you don't click, that counts as an impression because it actually placed something in front of your eyeballs, right? So when I was running paid advertising, I used to pay around $25 per 1,000 impressions. Well, just last month alone on my small YouTube channel, I got about 1 million impressions for free. So just do the quick math with me real quick. You take 1 million, divide it by 1,000 impressions, you're going to have 1,000. Now let's multiply that by $25 that I was spending per 1,000 impressions. I got about $25,000 worth of free promotion for myself and my business on a very small YouTube channel last month. I was like, whoa, this is crazy once I came to the realization of that. And depending on what it is that you have to offer, you don't have to convert a high percentage of those people that have a very, very successful online business. So what you want to do is that you want to be a contentpreneur. Remember, an entrepreneur that uses your content to drive traffic to your business, to drive traffic to your products, to drive traffic to your services. Now, there's two types of businesses that you can build. You can build a service-based business or you can build a product-based business. Now, I don't recommend providing services for people because then the income that you will make is going to be dependent on your actual time. It has a cap to it. Versus if you have a product-based business or you create a digital product, something to where you can just create it one time, you do the work once, implement it into the proper system, and system is an acronym, SYSTEM. System stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. You take that digital product, implement it into the system, and that system can work for you 24/7, 365. That's how you get your time back and you make more while working less. And if you have the contentpreneur mind frame, you'll realize that you don't need to get a lot of views. And then you can actually make good content providing true value to somebody else, and you won't be all stressed out and playing all these algorithmic games out here trying to go viral, because you realize that you don't need to go viral. You don't need to get all of the views. You need to get the right views. And when I came across this, this happened a few years ago or a couple years ago. There was a young lady, you can look this up. She had like over 1 million followers, like 1.6 million followers. She partnered up with some company to have her own product, and she couldn't sell 30 units. 1.6 million followers, she couldn't sell 30 units of something. I made a video a couple months ago about a young lady. She had reached 8 million people within a month. 8 million. She could not sell one unit. She could not sell one product within her business. And she reached 8 million people within a 30-day span. She was like, I don't know, should I quit? Maybe this entrepreneur stuff ain't for me. It's because she had it backwards. She was trying to be a content creator. She's trying to think of ways to go viral and stuff instead of thinking of actually making content around her actual business or around the actual products that she was selling. So there's something that I suggest that you do, and this really, really changed my life once I read this, and you should read it too. There's an article by a man named Kevin Kelly, and the article is called 1,000 True Fans. Now, and this is an article too. This isn't a book, so there's no excuse for you not to read this. It is freely available online. You can find it. Now, the concept of this article, 1,000 True Fans, was Kevin Kelly said if you can build an audience of 1,000 true fans and you get them to spend $100 per year with you, you now have your six-figure business, right? That's that every elusive six-figure goal that everybody has, right? And I was like, that's interesting. I don't need to get the most people. I need to get the right people. Now, that 1,000 true fans with that 1,000 people at $100 per year, that's just the numbers that he used. But once you understand the concept, you can move those numbers around to do and fit whatever it is that you want to do. So there's this other guy that I came across, lives up in Vancouver, Canada. And he was a big inspiration to me because at the time when I came across this guy, he had a small YouTube channel of around like 3 to 4, maybe 5,000 subscribers, not that big. But at the time, he had built a business that was a $30,000 per month business, all off of the traffic from that small YouTube channel. And I was like, whoa, this is crazy. And his 1,000 true fans actually ended up being 300 because he had a product that was $100 per month. And he had got 300 people to join that within like a 6 to 7 month span. That's that $30,000 per month business, or that $1,000 per day business, right? Off of a very small YouTube channel. I think he had like maybe 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. And now like 1.5 years or 2 years later, he now has a multiple six-figure per month business, but he still has a small YouTube channel. Like, yeah, it's grown some, but now he only has about like 20,000 subs or something like that. Still a small YouTube channel, but he's making multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. Look, I'm telling you, I know people, I coach people that have over 1 million subscribers. They're not making anywhere near 6 figures a month, like nowhere near. You know why? Because they were just thinking of being content creators. They weren't thinking of being a contentpreneur. They were just thinking of entertaining people. And here's the thing with content also, and that entertainment type content that I call it. Think about what it is that you spend money on. It's very hard to get people to spend money on entertainment. Just think about this for a second. We live in a time to where we get so much stuff for free that a lot of times we feel offended when somebody's charging us money for something. So I'll use Netflix as an example. I had used my best friend's Netflix password for so long that when all of a sudden out the blue, that message popped up and it was like, oh, you can't use this Netflix because you're not part of this household. I felt offended. I was like, why is Netflix trying to charge me? I've been watching Netflix for years. There's so many people that pirate movies and sports and music. And then all of the free content on YouTube and social media that we get. People are not thinking of buying anything from somebody that they're entertained from. But guess what it is that they are thinking about buying? They're buying solutions to problems that they have. So if you brand yourself as an authority in a certain space to where you have a solution to somebody else's problem, and then you create content showing that you are the authority that can fit somebody's problem, they will tune into your content, for one, to learn about that problem that they have. And then once they come to know, like, and trust you and see that you have a solution to something that they're struggling with, they will pay you and buy your product. They will pay you for that solution to get from where they are right now to where they want to be. That's the life of a contentpreneur, not a content creator. And you don't need to have the biggest audience. Actually, I would highly advise against people trying to go out there and get the biggest audience, because all that you really need is a micro niche personal brand. That's it. Another thing that helped me realize this, there's this book by a guy named Daniel Priestley. The book is called Oversubscribed, right? The key thing that I took away from that book was something that he called famous to a few. And the way that he describes it in the book, he was like, if you can get famous to around like, I think 5,000 people or so, I can't remember the number that he put in the book, but I told myself, if I can get famous to around 5,000 to 7,000 people. And what he called famous in the book is not like what you would think of famous of, like, oh my gosh, it's Beyonce. Oh. Right, not like that. He's calling famous as to whereas if somebody had came to know you through your online presence, and if they were to meet you in person, they will be pleased and excited off of being able to meet you. It's like, okay, if I can get famous to a few, I say around 5,000 to 7,000 people, and then from that, get your 1,000 true fans, then you'll be able to have a successful business for forever. And with the power of the internet and with the power of all these platforms, and especially I highly advise that you take YouTube serious. You need to stop being a consumer of all this content and start being a producer of it, because I'm telling you, I wish that I started taking YouTube seriously years ago. The best time to take YouTube seriously was years ago. The second best time is right now. Start producing some content on here that others are consuming. Start to build your niche personal brand to become an authority in a certain space. But I was like, okay, if I can become famous to a few, and then from that, get my 1,000 true fans, or from whatever the number it is that makes sense for me business-wise, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then once I saw all the free impressions that YouTube gives, because I know how much it costs to do paid advertising, I was like, dang, this is crazy. Like last year alone, when I started taking my YouTube seriously, just last year alone, I got like $300,000 worth of free promotion. Like I would have had to spend about $250,000 to $300,000 in advertising to get the same amount of impressions that my small YouTube channel did last year. And at the same time, YouTube paid me for it. Not the most money, like maybe, I can't remember, maybe like $15,000 to $20,000. But I'm like, dang, they're paying me for something that I actually enjoy doing and adding value and helping people and promoting myself, building my personal brand and building my business on the back of the channel. And they're paying me for it at the same time. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And content creators, they're not thinking like that at all. Now, there's always going to be an exception to the rule. And when I tell people this, they always use the exception as the example. Well, blah, blah, blah did it. Well, blah, blah, blah did it. I'm like, okay, well, you go out, you go be the exception, and you go get 25 million subscribers or something like that, and you go be it. But there's all kinds of regular, everyday people out here that have 5,000 subscribers, 12,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 4,000 subscribers that are making 6, 7, and 8 figures out here from just having micro personal brands, coming up with a solution to somebody else's problem, packaging up that solution as a digital product, and then creating content, branding themselves as that authority figure in that space, and only making content for those people that are struggling with the problem that they have the solution for. I'm telling you, if you just focus on that, you don't have to get the most views, you just have to get the right views, and you start to get numbers coming in online in your business, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. So if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description. Join this credit at the top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only $47 a month to join right now. That's less than a cup of coffee per day. And we're going up to $97 a month here pretty soon. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap in. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But look, I'm telling you, this stuff, it's super simple, and people, they just tend to overcomplicate it. And the complicated stuff, it never grows and it never scales. I have this saying, I say, simple scales and fancy fails. So just keep stuff simple. Obsess on coming up with a solution to somebody else's problem, and then show them that you have obsessed over their problems more than they have through the content that you make, and then start to attract the right eyeballs so you can actually monetize those instead of just getting popular for popularity's sake, I guess. Kendrick Lamar, what do you say to Dre? Only you like being famous. Yachty can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a about who you hang with. All right, but it's not a popularity game out here. Now, yes, your popularity will rise the more content that you make, or maybe once you get to a certain point, you can then make a decision on if you want to just stay in this micro niche or if you want to pivot and become super popular and whatnot. But popularity, that's not the goal. Like I said, you don't want to be a popular broke person. The goal is to be a successful entrepreneur with a successful online business that cash flows and gives you a great quality of life. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. Now, see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here for a system to create 3 tiny digital products that you can monetize by becoming that actual contentpreneur. It's crowded at the top.